Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here. Today we are back for another late night Dokkan news video. We've not done one of these in a little bit. Obviously we haven't had a little bit of news in a minute as well, just because of the fact that, nothing's really been going on too big in Dokkan. But we do have a slew of EZAs as well as some brand new information in tonight's news video. This is going to be a very interesting one. Let's go ahead and go over everything that we have. Shoutouts to the homie Garesh, of course, for providing the translations for the video. We do have the translation for Surprise. The Golden Boys are getting an EZA as well as Trunks. So let's go ahead and go over that real quick. Leader skill, Int, Tech, and STR key, +3, HP attack and defense 80%. Super attack, raise defense and causes supreme damage to the enemy. Passive, attack and defense +90%. At the start of turn, target Goku category allies, key +2, and attack and defense +30, and a high chance to form a critical hit if there is a enemy whose name contains Goku, excluding Youth, Goku, or Ginyu, and Junior. Very, very interesting change that they decided to do on this guy. Let's go ahead and look at what he did before. This is really weird, though, because they've done this a couple of times with EZAs, but I feel like this is a pretty drastic one. They basically changed this guy up, right, completely. Oh, they actually added the EZA right here. Nice. But, like, obviously, when this guy came out, right, he had nothing to do with the target Goku category. Of course, he acquired it. He came out, of course, for the fact that, my man came out with Revival of F, right? When Golden Frieza was revealed. So it is kind of interesting to take a unit that really doesn't have anything to do with a specific category and change it into the leader of a support unit for a specific category. They've done this a few times in the past. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know they've done it with some EZAs. I just think it's a really interesting approach to take to an EZA, because sometimes it really seems like they try and improve the original design of the unit, and sometimes they just say screw the original design, we're just gonna do what we want. Now granted, it's still kind of ish the same. I mean, this isn't really a lot to go off of, considering, but I mean, they still did incorporate, not really, it's weird, but nonetheless, though, definitely not a bad EZA by any means. I definitely think that it's a different way to do an EZA, right? It's definitely not right or wrong. I guess it's technically right because that's what it is, right? But, it's definitely a different way of doing an EZA. But regardless, I'm going to leave my opinions on an EZA out of this. I do think, though, that it is an interesting change nonetheless for target Goku. So, let's take a look at the Agl Golden Frieza before we get to Trunks, right? So, Agl types attack +35% per key sphere obtained. Super attack raises attack and causes supreme damage to the enemy. Passive, key +2, attack +90% when collecting 4 more key spheres. Reduce damage received by 90% when HP is 40% or above. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he originally did then. This does give this man a pretty good buff. I actually use this guy quite frequently. I used him a lot before I awakened the Tech Golden Frieza. He originally was damage received -90% when HP is 50% or above. So actually, he not only got his original passive buffed, right? Because now he has more defense, or not, he doesn't have more defense, but he has defense for longer, rather. He also gets a little bit of an attack boost, so that is pretty cool, especially with the key as well. So definitely not bad for my man. Definitely a glow up for my boy. Let's take a look at Trunks here. Leader skill, superclass, key +3, HP attack and defense +100%. Causes immense damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense, and raises allies, superclass allies attack by 30% for 1 turn. Passive, changes STR key spheres to int, attack and defense +20% per key sphere obtained. Randomly change the type of orb, excluding STR and int if there's a Realm of Gods category enemy. Effective against all types when collecting 4 or 7 or more key spheres. Called it because Garesh did a prediction video. So that is pretty interesting. Obviously, right, referencing the fact that Trunks is taking down your boy Zamasu here. Kind of weird though too that it's any Realm of Gods enemy, because obviously that could include like UI Goku or whatever. But nonetheless though, very very cool. Obviously in the beginning he changed the key and then got 15% per orb obtained. So that obviously got buffed to attack and defense plus 20%. He's still changing the key spheres. And then he got this whole big thing with the Realm of Gods edit, which is quite interesting. Again, making the unit more updated. And I do think that this is an interesting thing that they do, because again, this is sort of like updating the unit, kind of like the Int Frieza, right, where it's updating it to the modern day way that the game handles categories, right? Because obviously when this guy came out, there wasn't really a focus on them. So really interesting, or they weren't out actually. But nonetheless though, right, I mean, I guess no focus applies, but you get the point. Nonetheless though, still an interesting change. Again, this is the kind of thing I like a little bit more when it comes to EZAs, because it's still like referencing what he did originally, and improving upon that, and then adding something else, whereas the other Frieza is kind of just changing up the whole thing. Again, not a bad way to do an EZA, and I don't really know how they would have like really updated that original passive, considering it was like 5 words for Frieza. But nonetheless though, very good changes for Trunks. I am all about it. I really like this guy as a key changer as well, so it's cool that he himself gets a little bit of a buff as well, right? So that's basically it for the EZA information. Again, shout out to the homie Garesh for the information. Links in the description, of course, to everything that we talk about in this video. Now, here's something super interesting that actually was posted on the Reddit just, I think, an hour-ish ago. This is crazy. So basically in the JP news, your boy KRILLIN got announced for the Prime Battle, right? Because obviously he's coming real soon. And the information regarding his SSR leader skill was put onto the little promotional image for him. And as you can see here, 2 key and 100% boost at SSR level. And here's the thing, the category is Earthlings. So obviously that category is not technically in the game yet, but KRILLIN will be leading that category. And this man here has an interesting point, right? If he goes up like by 3, right, maybe 4 key and 150 stats at LR level, possibility we could be looking at the first free 150% leader here, ladies and gentlemen, which would be super awesome, because obviously that has not been done before. And I feel like for the Earthling category, that is pretty appropriate, considering that, well, I'm not exactly sure how busted it's going to be. Of course, we'll take a look at the category once it actually comes into the game via the data download. But nonetheless, though, super interesting information. That does give me high hopes for KRILLIN's leader skill. And honestly, if they do that, that'll make the Prime Battle grind a lot more worth it. Because at the moment, for a lot of these Prime Battle LRs, I mean, you do get use out of them, but in my opinion, the grind doesn't always feel worth it, or especially in the moment, right, when you're actually grinding up the unit, grinding up all those medals, it doesn't necessarily feel worth it, though I feel like I've gotten enough worth out of them to justify, every single one that I've farmed up. But nonetheless, though, I feel like this will, if they continue with this trend going forward, that they decide to make these Prime Battle LRs free 150% leaders, not only is that a godsend to free-to-play players, Jay Fanta will literally be crying of happiness. It's also really good for the game, because obviously then it promotes, more people coming in and being like, oh, kind of generous. And obviously, it's just good for the game in general. So very cool stuff there for KRILLIN. Very exciting. I cannot wait until he gets into the game. I believe he should be releasing the 9th, if I recall the information. I'm going to pull up on my phone real quick. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Oh, right, I forgot I'm actually in a match right now, so I can't. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think of this information. I know a lot of people were kind of thinking that maybe this guy would be a Saiyan Saga leader, but he is in fact a Earthling leader, which I definitely think is not a bad thing at all, because obviously KRILLIN is the strongest human, right? So it kind of makes sense. And people have been asking for a Earthling category in Dokkan for quite some time now. So very awesome that we are getting that. I'm so excited for this guy. Of course, when the data download happens for him, I will make a news video as usual, and also keep an eye on Dokkan assets because, of course, I'll be posting stuff there. But other than that, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Much appreciated. Let me know what you think about Krillin in the comment section below, and I will catch you in the next one. I'm going to out. Peace.